In this video, we'll discuss the technique of differentiation. So far, in our previous videos, we learned that a function can be obtained its derivative using the fundamental theorems of differentiation. Okay, so the fundamental theorems of differentiation is applicable only to the specific functions, which is will fit into the theorem. So if that function cannot be applied using the fundamental theorem, then we have to go for the technique of differentiation. Okay, so for example, suppose we have this function. Given the function y as a function of x, which is equal to x squared plus 3x squared, quantity all of them raised to 2. So when you look at the function, there's no such fundamental theorems that can be applied to this function. Okay, so we have to find a way. So finding a way is actually a technique. It's already a technique of differentiation. So one strategy here is to expand, because this is square of binomial, so we have to expand this one by squaring the first, twice the first and second, then square the last. Okay, so we are asked to find what is the derivative of the function with respect to x at x is equal to 2. So to answer again is to expand this one first before going to differentiate. Then after that, we have to use the sum rule to obtain the individual derivative of each term. So we will be using power rule, the combination of multiple constant multiple, and we have the power rule. Okay, so in this case, the derivative of this function with respect to x, for the first term, this will become 4x cubed using the power rule. In the second term, we have to dive in the 3, and that will be multiplied by 6 and becomes 18, and this will be subtracted by 1 for the 3 becomes 2 as the power rule, becomes 18x squared. Then the last term becomes 18, because this is 2 times 9, 18, and this is 2 minus 1 becomes x raised to 1. So therefore, this is the derivative of the function with respect to x. Substituting this with the value of 2, so x, all x here will be replaced by 2. Then evaluate, then we come up with the answer of 140. This is the derivative of the function, or the slope of the tangent, okay, line of this function. Okay, so that's it. Now suppose we have another function. Suppose we have y is equal to x squared plus 3x, but this time this is raised to 200. So what will you do? We cannot expand this because this is a huge number of terms. Okay, so it is impossible to expand this 200 times. So what will you do? Okay, so the strategy now collapses by expanding this theorem. It's because that it is impossible to provide the expanded form in this kind of function. So therefore, in this case, we need to go for the technique of differentiation. Also with this, look at this one. Another function given the function of x is equal to square root of x squared plus 1. Okay, now take note that there is no fundamental theorem that can be used in here of this function. We cannot expand since this is already the form. So in this case, we need to go for the technique of differentiation. Okay, the technique of differentiation uses the so-called, actually this is finding the derivative of the composite functions. All functions that cannot be applied by the fundamental theorem of differentiation is considered as composite function. So in this video, our task is to find the derivative of any composite functions. So look at this one. Now this one is, remember, this is a function. Okay? And if we say it a function of x, this is actually 2x squared plus 3x raised to 200. But this function is composed of another function inside, meaning that the function of x is actually forming another function which is the function of x. Okay? So therefore, this is a kind of composite. So what makes this function composite? Because this is composed of two parts. We have the internal part and we have the as a whole, okay, part as a whole. And we have this as the internal component of this function. So again, we call this as a composite function. So in this case also, this can be our function of x, but take note that the radicand is another function. I call this as g function of x. So these functions again is actually forming a composite function, meaning the function of x, which is the g function of x, or in mathematics, we have the f composite g, which means that the function of x has the internal function, which is the gx, or mathematics, we have the f composite z. So what will you do in order to obtain the derivative of this composite function? So the answer is, we have to use the chain rule. Okay? So the chain rule is actually the ultimate strategy in order to obtain the derivative of any composite function. So let us formalize what is the derivative of the composite function, or f composite g? Okay? So for the composite y is equal to f composite g, or take note, this is y as the function of a function of g function of x. Now, all you need to do is to break the composite into its part, which means that we make it simple by using a dummy variable. The dummy variable is u. So we will use u, and we will let that u be equal to gx. Now remember, gx is the internal part of the function of f. Okay? So if we assign that number inside simply as u, then we can now say that dy is just a function of u. Okay, so we break the composite into two components. We have the internal part, which is the dummy variable as gx, and the y now becomes simply as the function of u. Okay, now part of the strategy here to find the derivative of the composite function is to take the derivative of u. Take note, our dummy variable, this should be differentiated with respect to x. So therefore, whatever function here inside of a function of x will be differentiated with respect to x. So we will find du over dx. Okay? So with that, we can apply the basic or the fundamental theorem just to find the derivative of gx. So call this as g prime x signifies the derivative of the gx. So this is the first order derivative. Okay, then the y now also be differentiated with respect to u. So we will differentiate y with respect to u becomes dy du. So we will take derivative using our fundamental theorem and find the derivative of the function of u. Okay, so we have now two values. So we have du dx and we have du dy du. So where's the chain rule? The chain rule now comes in. Take note that we are to find the dy dx, or the derivative of y with respect to x. So in order to find it, we have to use the chain rule. So what is chain rule? If we multiply, okay, if we have dy, take note, we have dy du. This is dy du. Now, if we multiply it with du dx, okay, what's the result? So practically, when you look at this mathematically, this du will be cancelled out. And this will becomes dy dx. Which means that if we multiply dy du by du dx, this one, the result is actually the derivative of y with respect to x. Okay? So that's it. This is the strategy, and we call this as the chain rule. Okay? This is a chain rule. So the composite, the derivative of the function, is actually uses the strategy of chain rule. It is like a chain because this is actually cancelled. We use only the dummy. So U, take note, is a dummy variable. So we will eliminate that in our final answer. There should not be involvement of U in the final answer. So U must be eliminated because it is just a dummy. We will use it for the solution to the problem. Okay, so in this case, so since we have the du, dy, du, this is the result. So we have this as the function of the first order derivative of u, or a prime u, multiplied by what? Du dx, but du dx is the g function of x. Okay, so therefore this will, but take note, what is u? Okay, so we have to replace u and replace that with what? G. So therefore we can say, look at this one, if this is our composite function, y as the a function of g function of x, the derivative of this is just what? Take the derivative of that function, okay, that function with respect to x. Then after that, you have to differentiate again the internal part as component of the answer. So meaning we have to multiply the derivative of the gx by the derivative of the a function of the g function of x. Okay? So I know this is difficult to analyze because this is the kind of principle of the composite function because we are working with variables here. So in order to understand, we have this example. So given, for example, y is equal to quantity 3x squared, okay, determine the dy dx. Actually, this is a very simple problem, but we will use the composite. We will interpret this as a composite. Okay, to find the derivative. Actually, we can expand this one, becomes 9x squared, then the answer is automatically can be easily obtained. But we will, for the sake of example, we will consider this as a composite. Why? Because the fx, actually, the f function of x is a g function of x, meaning the g function of x here is 3x, the internal component of the function. Okay? So, following the rule, we will assign for the solution to find the dy dx, we will let u be equal to g. Take note, what is g? G is the function which is the internal component of the f function of x. So the internal is this number, the 3x. Do not include x squared because the 3x squared is actually the function of x. Now in this case, the internal is just 3x. Okay? Then what will happen to our y now? Because this is already u. So y becomes u squared. Now next, look at this, the step. You have to find the derivative of u with respect to x. So find the derivative of u with respect to x. So take the derivative of 3x. So the answer is 3. So du over dx is 3. So we have this derivative. And we need this one, take note. Okay. Then the derivative of y is equal to u squared. So we have to take derivative of y with respect to u. So dy du. Dy du. So applying the rule, no? Apply the rule, our rule. Okay, so we have 2u. Now next, use the chain rule. Chain rule is, take note that we have to multiply the dy du by du dx. And the dy du is 2u. And we have the du dx as 3. So multiply this, substitute the values, replace dy du with 2u, and du dx with 3. So the result is actually, by the way, as I've said, u is not included in the answer. So we will replace u to the assigned, which is 3x. So we will replace u be equal to 3x. So therefore, this will becomes 2 times 3 times 3 is 18x. And this is the answer. So we have a long process of the just to solve this problem. But remember that if you expand this one, this will becomes 9x squared, then take derivative using the power rule, then the answer is 18x. So we have a very short solution. But this one has a long solution. So I've said, we apply the concept of the chain rule to this problem. And we arrive the same answer. Okay? So, now look at this one. Now, suppose I have this problem. The y is equal to the square root of x squared plus 1. Now, if you apply strategy here, it's like, or expand. We cannot expand this one. So therefore, ultimately, the solution to this problem is using the chain rule. Using the chain rule. So with that, okay, so all you need to do is to, again, the process, you have to let u be equal to what? The internal? The internal is x squared plus 1. Okay, so let this be equal to u. So this is our gx actually. So our y now becomes square root of u. Why? Because this one, the x squared plus 1 was replaced by u. And u is x squared plus 1. So the process is we have to differentiate u with respect to x. So find the du dx. Okay? By the way, the square root of u is just equal to exponential form of u raised to 1/2. So we will be using this one because when we differentiate, this will be applicable. No? Because there's no theorem for the square root, but we have the theorem for the exponential form of the radical. So we have the power rule. We can apply our power rule. Okay, do it. Du dx is equal to 2x. This is 0, remember. Derivative of a constant is 0. Now, next is we have to differentiate y with respect to u. So we have to find dy du. So we have to apply the power rule. So you have to dive in the 1/2, then subtract the 1/2 by 1 as the exponent of u. So it becomes negative 1/2. So the answer is dy du is 1/2 u raised to negative 1/2. That's it. This is actually based on the fundamental theorem. Okay, so we are able to use the fundamental theorem from the composite. Why? Because we break it by parts. Okay, we separate the complexity of the function. So from composite, we formulate a simple function. Okay, simple that the fundamental theorem can be applied to this problem. Okay, so go to the chain rule. So dy dx is dy du multiplied by du dx. Again, du actually will be cancelled out and we have the dy dx. But we don't cancel du. Instead, we will replace dy du with what? This is dy du, 1/2 u raised to negative 1/2. And the du dx is just 2x. So do it. So this is our dy du, which is this one. Okay? And the du dx is 2x, which is actually the derivative will be with respect to x. Okay, that's it. Okay, then next is, now we don't know. We don't have the final answer that involves u. So we have to replace back the assigned value of u, which is equal to x squared plus 1. So replace this with x squared plus 1 becomes 1/2 quantity x squared plus 1 raised to negative 1/2. Okay, then multiplied by 2x. So with that, we can cancel with what? The 2 can be cancelled out. Okay, then x here is, now the negative exponent will be positive in the denominator position. So therefore, from negative raised to 1/2 becomes positive 1/2. But the positive 1/2 is square root of that exponent. So therefore, the base of the exponent becomes the radicand of the expression of the square root operator. Okay, so okay, this is not yet the answer because we are asked to find the derivative of 2. So no need to rationalize because we have this requirement that we need to find derivative of y with respect to x at x is equal to 2. So we have to replace x with 2 here. So with that, and the answer is 2 square root of 5. So in this, because we are presenting number, so we have to rationalize this by square root of 5 over square root of 5. This is rationalizing factor. So multiply, this will become 2 square root of 5 divided by 5. This is the answer to the problem. Okay? Set. Okay. Now, another example. Now, suppose we have this a polynomial raised to a number 4. So we are again to find the derivative of this function with respect to x dy dx, and after that, find the derivative when x is equal to 1. Now again, this is difficult. This problem cannot be used the fundamental. Now if we try to expand this one, this is a lot of number, but still we can do it, no? So meaning you have to multiply this 4 times, then careful of your mathematics, or your multiplication, then be sure that all terms are correct. Then after that, use the sum rule. Okay, so that's the first strategy. But we have now the composite function or chain rule. Then we will, the simplest way now is to use the chain rule. But again, we can still apply the expanded form of this function, and then that's it. You can do it. So for the sake of this topic, we will use the chain rule. So let u be equal to x squared plus 3x plus 4. Okay, then all of them raised to 4. But u is only x squared plus 3x plus 4. So this is now our u value. Then after that, now our function now becomes what? Our y or function of x is u raised to 4. So please do not confuse if I will use y, because this is understood to be the function of x. So whether fx or y is the same. So this is now becomes a simple function, which is y is equal to u squared. So this one was break into 2 parts of the function. One is the dummy, which is x squared plus 3x plus 4, and the other is y, which is equal to u raised to 4. So our steps is to find derivative with respect to its independent variable. So in this case, this should be dy dx. Okay, becomes 2x, sum rule and power rule, and this becomes 3. So this is the derivative of u with respect to x. Then this one, this should be dy du, because our variable is u. So dy du. So use the power rule again, and this is 4u squared, u cubed. Okay, then chain rule again. Do not forget the chain rule, dy du, du dx. So chain rule, because this will be cancelled out. Okay, with that, we will replace dy du, which is this one. Okay, and the du dx, which is 2x plus 3. So multiply the 2. Then replace u with the dummy sign, which is x squared plus 3x. So replace it here, becomes 4x squared plus 3x plus 4, and raised to 3, multiplied by 3x plus 3. Okay, so you can now find the derivative of the function as x is equal to 1. So replace x's with y values, then manipulate, make sure it was properly calculated, and the result is 10,240. This is the final answer to the problem presented. Okay, so that's it. Now if you want to expand this one, then you can go. Okay, do it. If you can manage, then go. You can skip these steps without following these steps. You can still find the answer, and will arrive the same answer. Okay, now what will happen if this exponent becomes 200? So can you expand? Of course, no. Right? We cannot do it. Why? Because this is an huge or complicated result when you expand this one. We cannot do it. So with this, we are forced to use the chain rule. So what do you think? What will be the changes of the solution? Actually, this is take note, this is our process. So we have to go the same process. But what do you think? If we change 4 to 200, what will be the modification of this answer? This one, u is still the x squared plus 3x. Nothing has changed. Okay? And the derivative is still 2x plus 3. Now what about this one? Okay, this one becomes u raised to 200. Siyempre. Okay? Now the derivative also of y with respect to u will change, and this will become, you have to dive into 200, then subtract it by 1, becomes 200 u raised to 299. Okay? So these are only the component of our solution that not needed to change. With that, we have to proceed to the chain rule. So the same formula, but again, we have to replace this with this value. Okay? So we have to change this with this value u 200u raised to 199, and this is the same, 2x plus 3. And this will becomes also, okay, so replace this, okay, u, take note u is the same, x squared plus 3x plus 4, raised to 199 multiplied by 200, and we have 2x plus 3 factor. So then with that, you can use your y value, a derivative of y with respect to x, as x is equal to 1. So substitute it here, and the answer is 10,240. So I hope that this is correct. Kindly double check my calculations, but take note, these are the process. So verify this answer if we arrive the same answer. If not, then you have to change this. Okay, so that's it. So therefore, this is a very complicated without the chain rule. So we cannot solve this without chain rule, practically. And the process is still the same. Okay, now look at this one. Let us analyze this. Oh, by the way, sorry. This line needs to revise. So this will become 200, 1, okay? Changed by 1. And this one, okay, this is 109 already. So they have to change by, replace by 1, then calculate. And okay, we cannot provide the numbers here because we cannot use our calculator because this is 199. But you can present this as your final answer. Or this is equal to times 5. So you have to reduce the fraction. And you can combine this number, then present it as your answer. But the most important here is, look at this one. From this result, we can come up with another theorem of differentiation or technique of differentiation. Now look at this one. I call this as the function of x is equal to gx raised to n. So this is just like a power rule. Okay? This is just like a power rule. But this one is a g function of x. So when you look at this one, the function of x has what? Has this internal part, which is called this as gx. And we have to raise this to what? 200. And the 200 is a real number. So let that be to any number, or 10, 20, whatever number, call that as n. Because take note that this must be real number. There's no variable here. Okay? So look at this one. What will be the derivative of this function? Which is generally we call this as the f of the gx raised to n. Okay? So if you analyze again, this will be our g in this case. Then our n is 200. Okay? And look at the answer. Look at this answer, this one. The answer is actually, when you look at this, is the 200 now was dropped. Okay? It is just like a power roll. So meaning we can go directly here. Okay? Then after that, take the gx, copy whatever inside, then subtract it by 1. So copy just like here, x squared plus 3x plus 4. So this is our gx. But the exponent, which is 200 subtracted by 1, becomes 109. So this should be n minus 1. So this is just like a power roll. But take note, this is not a power roll, no? It's almost the same. But we have this another factor to comply the requirement. So in order to provide the exact result of the derivative of this function, we need to multiply again this term. What is this term? What is this factor? So take note, this factor is coming from what? Coming from the 2x, the du dx, which is the derivative of u with respect to x. Now take note, this is g function of x. So therefore, this must be the g function of this, the derivative of this function. Okay, we have to take the derivative of this function, and the derivative will be multiplied to that number to provide a complete solution of the derivative. Okay, so again, if we encounter this kind of problem which has exponent of n, any function inside, then go for this strategy. You have to think of a power roll, okay? Just a power roll. Now, whatever here inside the grouping symbol must be copied, okay? but exponent will be subtracted by 1. Do not stop at that point because this is power only, power rule, so it is a violation. Now, in order to have a complete, you have to take the derivative of this. So take the derivative of this function, then multiply it here, and that's the answer. So when you look at this one, so these are patterned to the answer that we are presented. So therefore, with the result here, we formulated this kind of strategy. So we call this as the derivative of a function raised to a power of n. So the derivative of the function, this is the function raised to a power of n. Okay? So here comes the one formulation of our one of the technique. No, the aside we have the chain rule. Okay, we have the chain rule, and this is the shortcut way of using chain rule. Meaning we can escape the process of the chain rule by following the result. But remember, this result are taken from the solution of the chain rule. So if given the function of x, which the function is equal to the g function of x raised to n, okay? Now, what is the derivative of that? Then the answer is this one. Think of the power rule, dive in the exponent, then subtract it by 1, but do not stop that point. You have to multiply that by the derivative of the function inside. Okay, that's it. It's like a power rule, but because this is a function inside, so to comply the requirement, take the derivative of that. Okay, as easy as that. Okay, now we will apply that problem. So look at this one. We are asked to evaluate the, sorry, this must be differential. So change this to evaluate the derivative. Okay, differential. Evaluate the differential, not integral. We are still on the differential calculus. So kindly change this one. Okay. Now the function is 8 over square root of this number. So we have x cubed minus 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. So again, when you look at this one, the basic rule cannot be applied for the fundamental. Okay? Now, what do you think? Is this applicable to this problem? When you look at in this way, this is not applicable. Why? Because the requirement of using this one, it must be what? A function raised to n, and the n should be a real number. There's no exponent here. So all you need to do is to transform this one. Okay? Transform in such that it can be transformed in this kind of function, which is g raised to n. So the only way is to what? Change the radical expression into equivalent exponential form. So we know that the square root is raised to 1/2. Okay? Number raised to 1/2. So do it. So with that, now the 1/2 is in the denominator, then put that in the numerator becomes negative. Okay? So therefore, this function from here, we transform this and we come up with this result. Take note, 8 here can be moved outside or leave as is. So this will not be affected during derivative because a constant multiple is always a constant multiple throughout the process. It won't change. Okay? So therefore, we can now apply the what? The power rule. Okay? Power function raised to n rule. So all you need to do is to what? Okay, look at this one. You have to take derivative. Okay, we move the 8 so that it won't complicate. So move 8 outside. So that's it. And this is now purely this one. So we have this as the gx. Okay, then raised to n. Our n is negative 1. Since this is negative 1/2. Since negative 1/2 is a real number, then it actually follows the derivative function raised to n power. Okay, so then the process now is you have to dive in the negative 1/2 here. So this is it, this one. Okay, then what next is you have to subtract the exponent, which is negative 1/2, by 1. So this will becomes what? 3/2. Okay, then after that, you have to take, okay, don't stop at that point. You have to take derivative of the gx. Take note, you have to multiply this one, okay? And this one is taken from the derivative of the inside of the base of the exponent. The base of the exponent is x squared for the gx minus 2x squared plus 5x minus 6. So derivative is what? 3x squared, negative 4x, and this is 5. 6 is 0. So we have only this one. Okay? So then simplify. Take note, this negative 1 half plus minus 1 is 3 halves, negative 3 halves. So we have here, and this is 8 over 2, or multiplied by 0.5 is 4. So this is negative again. What else? Okay. So with that, we can now find the derivative at x is equal to 2. So use this one. So be careful, no? Be sure that this is correct because your final answer will be affected. So replace everything x by 2. So we have this result. So kindly double check my calculations here. Okay. So then this result becomes 4. Okay. This is actually, when you simplify this is 0. This is 8, 8. So this is 10 minus 6. So 4 raised to negative 3 halves. And this one is 12 minus 8 plus 4, 5 is 9. Okay. Right. Then, okay, simplify this one. So bring it down and becomes what? The exponent, take note. The denominator exponent is the index of the radical, and the numerator is the exponent of the radical. So this must be, what? This must be square root of 4 raised to 3. But take note, this can be simplified by what? Because square root of 4 raised to 3 is the same as 4 squared times 4. So the square root of 4 squared is 4. So the square root of 4 raised to 3 is 4 square root of 4. Okay? So, okay, this is it. 4 square root of 4 is this result. So kindly go over your algebra. And this will be cancelled out. 4. So the final result is 9 over square root of 4. But we have to rationalize by 4. The 4. Square root of 4 by square root of 4. Then we have what? 9 square root of 4 over 4. Negative. And this will be the final answer. Okay? That's it. Okay? So again, we have this problem. Again, another problem is evaluate. So again, this is the derivative. Evaluate the differential. And the differential must be the function. And we have this as a symbol. So kindly change this. So this is now complicated to look at. This is x plus 3 raised to 4 and square root of x minus 3. We cannot simplify this one. Okay? So what will you do? Now, all you need to do, take note, this is forming factor. So we can apply the product rule first. And after product rule, we can now use for this one, because in product rule, we have to differentiate this one. Well, this is one at a time. Okay? So you have to, in this case, we have to use the function raised to power of n. Also this one, because this will be derivative of this is raised to negative 1 half. Okay? But before that, we have to use the product rule. So take note that the derivative of ub is v du plus u dv. So one at a time. So can they go back to our fundamental theorems of differentiation for the product rule to apply this one? So, okay, so applying the derivative of ub, which is equal to u dv or v du minus v u dv. Okay, so look at this one. By the way, before that, we have to change this into exponential form, and this will become x minus 3 raised to 1 half. So very simple. So with that, apply now the rule. So copy one at a time. Okay, copy this, then take derivative of this one. So this is the first term, the plus. Copy the other factor. So this one is already copy. Then take derivative of the other. So the other, we preserve the x plus 3. So this time we will differentiate. That's it. This is now the product rule. Okay, then we still need to differentiate this one. Okay, this is part of the answer. This one is part of the answer, but this one and this one needs to evaluate the differentials. Okay, now this one can be applied by the function raised to n principle. So think of the power rule, dive in, and take derivative of this. So very simple. What's the derivative of x minus 3? 1. So this is actually, if this is a first degree, if your x is first degree, you can think of a power rule, plain power rule, okay, provided that this is positive. If this is negative, then you have to multiply by negative 1. Okay, but this is positive. Okay, so then your answer now is you have to divide this 1 half. Okay, this is 1 half. Then subtract the 1 half by 1 becomes negative 1 half. So this will be the derivative. Okay. By the way, kindly erase this one. This is not included. Okay. Winter. So we have, this is not included. The problem. No, sorry. No. It's part because we need to differentiate the GX. Okay, it's included. Okay, so this is included. So take derivative. This is GX, G prime X. So derivative, this is 1 actually. So then move to the second term. So we have plus copy because this is part of the answer. So part of the answer. Then we have this one. So you have to dive the power. Another function raised to n, dive this one, and we have this 4. Then subtract the 4 by 1 becomes 3. So this is copied. Actually, this is the GX. Now, next is to differentiate this. So the G prime X, this one. So take this one. You have to be careful of your solution. You have to follow everything so that will arrive correct answer. So, by the way, this is included. So this is 1 and this is also 1. So this is 1, okay. This is 1, derivative of x minus 3. And this is also 1. So this is it. Okay, then this is purely algebra. All you need to do is to what? Okay, you can go substitute in the value. By the way, this is 4. I used 4. So, sorry. So, I think this should be replaced by 4. Then, okay. So, replace all x's by 4. Then we come up with this 7 raised to 4. This is 1 half. This is 1 raised to what? Square root. Okay, any 1 raised to the number is also 1. So therefore this is 1 times 1. Okay. 1. Okay, then this is what? Okay, this is copied. 4. So this is another 1. This is 4 copy. And this is 4 plus 3. So this is 7 raised to 3. And this is 1. Okay. The next, again, this is 1. This is already 1. This is 1. So then plus this is 1 again. And this is 4. Okay. 4, 7 raised to 3. So this is 4. This is 1. Okay, this is already 1. So this is 1. 4, 7 raised to 3. Then simplify using calculator. So I hope this is correct. 2,572.5 as the answer to the problem. Okay, so we are able to obtain this, looks like complicated, no? But this complexity becomes simple if we understand the process. So nothing to worry, just follow the rule. Okay, just follow the rule. Okay, so that's all. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, yeah.